What's going on, everybody? Jokertone here, and before I get into this video, I just want to say right off the bat that I had this video planned out and done this past weekend, but upon deleting it took me a few takes to do this video, like 3 or 4, and upon deleting the old takes, like I hadn't labeled them right, and upon deleting the old ones, I had accidentally deleted the one that I was going to use. So I had to find some time in between my Dino Charge review, the episode guide for Dino Charge, and all that, and my other stuff I had to do off screen, like off my YouTube channel, to sit down and just talk about this little topic that's been kind of growing, or at least has been going on for the past couple years. And that topic is Power Rangers vs. Super Sentai. As you can clearly see on the screen, we have Power Rangers vs. Super Sentai, the logo underneath. If you do not watch the Sentai, the logo down on the bottom half of the screen is the Super Sentai logo. Now, why I bring this up is because back in 2008, when let me put it this way. I've seen every episode, I've seen every season of Power Rangers, but I actually took some time away from watching Power Rangers for a while, and that was roughly around the time when Mystic Force was ending, and through Operation Overdrive, and through a little bit into Jungle Fury. Now, with that being said, when I came back into the fold, Jungle Fury had already been underway. They were about, I think, like 15 or 16 episodes in, because I believe the first episode I saw was Bad to the Bone. And that's like episode like 14 or 15 or whatever. But, so I wasn't out of the loop. Like, I knew Mystic Force came, then Overdrive came. I hadn't watched Overdrive yet. But Overdrive came and went, and then Jungle Fury. So I knew what seasons were going on at the given times. Now, when I was looking into Operation Overdrive and Jungle Fury, and then eventually RPM, to start getting back into the fold of Power Rangers, I came across a few things on forums, chat rooms, things like that, that I found interesting. And that was people debating what's better, Power Rangers or Super Sentai. Because you have to think that now, in a world where we're able to see things from other countries easier, like, think about it, like 10 years ago, it'd be very difficult for somebody to watch a season of Super Sentai in Japan unless they had somebody in Japan be able to, like, mail them the seasons over to America, or copies of them. And with more, like, uses of the internet going on over the past, like, 10 or so years, room for people being able to see where the original footage for Power Rangers was coming from, I feel impacted, you know, people starting to watch more Sentai over Power Rangers. And one of the big things about this... oh, God. Sorry, it's a little dusty in my room. Just take a drink real quick. One of the things, one of the topics that come with Power Rangers vs. Super Sentai is the story elements, because at the time of Mystic Force, Operation Overdrive, Jungle Fury, they were taking a lot of elements from the Sentai, bringing it over to America, and using them as elements for Power Rangers. Now, the way I see it is, I've seen a few Sentai seasons, which, as of this moment, I've seen Shinkenger, which is Samurai here. I've seen a little bit of Go-Sager, which was Megaforce. I've seen Go-Kiger, which is Super Megaforce. Kyuger, which is our Dino Charge. And then this past year, I've seen a little bit of Tokyuger. So I've seen a little bit. I know... I don't really watch the Sentai ones, mainly because... or at least delve into the older Sentai, I know some plot elements from older Sentai series, like some characters die in some seasons and some don't. But to me, making the claim that Power Rangers is bad because they take story elements from Super Sentai, to me is not a valid argument. Because think about it like this. Think about if Magi Ranger, the series that here is Mystic Force, say if they have a certain storyline, certain story element and things with characters. Say they have that. And say the next season, Bokenger, which is our Operation Overdrive, has a similar story, but done in a way that's more towards what their powers and stuff are, and similar aspects about that, that would peeve me off more than if, say, Magi Ranger had the story elements, and then Mystic Force took the elements. Because think about it like this. Mystic Force and Magi Ranger aren't in the same universe. Power Rangers is Power Rangers, Super Sentai is Super Sentai. I would be a lot more teed off, so to speak, if a Super Sentai series was reusing a storyline from a previous season. Now, mind you, I haven't seen all the Super Sentai seasons, so they could have possibly done that once or twice, since they've been on the air for I think 36 or 37 seasons. So, keeping that in mind, to me, it doesn't hurt the fact that, oh, Mystic Force is taking elements from Magi Ranger. Okay, fine. That doesn't bother me in a sense, because it's not like they're in the same world. They're not in the same series, so to speak. And I think that's something that people need to. And sure, you can say it's just Americans being lazy and whatnot. And honestly, I feel like a lot of the time, maybe it could be anything. It could be that they're lazy. It could be that the Sentai footage that they're given isn't credible enough to make their own story. Or maybe they just really like the story and think, hey, let's just adapt it for an American audience. All of those are valid arguments and reasoning, and I can't sit here and say what their real reasoning is because I don't know any of the production team behind past Power Ranger seasons, whether it be Disney or Saban. But that just kind of, that to me is one of the things that I feel. And if you like Super Sentai, fine, great, more power to you. If you like Power Rangers, fine, more power to you. Between Super Sentai and Power Rangers, I'd probably be more on the Power Rangers side, mostly because I have seen more Power Rangers. Would my opinion change if I had seen more Super Sentai seasons? Possibly. I'm not going to sit here and say that's not something that is a thing. I'm hoping down the line that I can go back when I have downtime to watch one or two Super Sentai seasons. I know Z-Ranger, I think they started throwing them on Amazon. I think they just started becoming out for sale today, actually, for English subbed over here in America by Shout Factory, I do believe. And I'll probably get a copy of that, so I can maybe start from there. And if production goes well and they start releasing more, like Die Ranger and Kaku Ranger and stuff, I probably will continue on watching maybe those Super Sentai seasons, and then maybe doing a little review based on those Super Sentai seasons. Maybe that could be like a little added thing that I do just on the side. But with that being said, I feel like, if you want to debate things here and there, that's fine. A nice little healthy debate, that's never a problem. That's never something that should be really looked down upon. But at the same time, if somebody likes something that you don't like, it's not necessarily a bad thing. I could sit here and say, there's multiple things about Power Rangers that I wish had been done differently. I wish Overdrive was done differently. I wish parts of Mystic Force were done differently. But with that in mind, you also have to take into consideration of what the production team has to work with and all that. And I feel, like I said, everybody's entitled to their own thing. And I guess you're just gonna have to live with that, because you're not gonna be able to sit there and force your opinion on somebody. You're not going to change somebody who likes Power Rangers into a Super Sentai fan or a Power Rangers fan. You know, it's not going to happen overnight. If the person goes to watch a certain season or something through their own volition and start liking it, that's great. But with all that being said, I hope this kind of just seeps in and just lets people know, you know, people have their own opinions. People like one thing over the other. Like I said, I prefer Power Rangers over Super Sentai because I've seen way more Power Rangers than Super Sentai. So just keep that in mind. And, you know, I guess that's it for this video. Just like, favorite, or whatever, and comment your thoughts.